In the spotlight tonight is Thomas Dyer from Bristol, a retired biochemist. His specialist subject is the Libretti of W.S. Gilbert. Tony Kelly from Kendal, a silversmith and goldsmith, taking the history of spirits and liqueurs. Hamish Cameron from Elgin, a computer manager whose subject is ancient Egypt from 1570 to 1070 BC. And Chris Barber from Gloucestershire, an aerospace worker. His specialist subject, the Clash. Welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. 4 contenders, 2 rounds, but just one person tonight will go through to the next round and perhaps the final with the chance of becoming the nation's mastermind. You'll know the rules by now, so let's get on with it and have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Thomas Dyer.
Your occupation?
Retired biochemist.
And your chosen subject?
The Libretti of W.S. Gilbert for the Savoy Operas.
In 2 minutes, starting now. In the Pirates of Penzance, what claim do potential victims of the pirates generally make to ensure that they are released unharmed?
They're orphans.
Yes, in Utopia Limited, what's the name of the journal that details the king's alleged abominable immoralities?
The Palace Peeper.
Yes, in The Sorcerer, what is the title of the drinking song which begins, "Eat, drink and be gay"?
Pass.
In Ruddigore, what reason does Sir Riven, also known as Robin Oakapple, give for not having committed a crime on the previous Monday?
It was a bank holiday.
Indeed. In The Yeoman of the Guard, what is the name of the cousin who's caused Colonel Fairfax's imprisonment by accusing him of sorcery?
Sir Clarence Poltbristle.
Correct. In The Mikado, Pooh Bah is groom of what among his many job titles?
The backstairs.
Yes, at the beginning of The Grand Duke, which play has a theatrical troupe arrived in the town square to perform?
Troilus and Cressida.
Yes, by what name do the crew of HMS Pinafore know Mrs. Cripps, a Portsmouth bumboat woman?
Little Buttercup.
Yes, what is the legal term for the crime of having 2 wives, according to the prosecution counsel in trial by jury?
Bigamy.
Burglary.
Oh.
What post was held by the real-life Captain Shaw, who attended the premiere of Iolanthe and is mentioned during Act 2?
He was Chief of the London Fire Brigade.
Yes, according to Gamma's song in Act 3 of Princess Ida, isn't your life extremely flat with nothing whatever to...
Grumble at.
Yes, to which Christian denomination had the late King of Barataria converted, according to the Duke and the Gondoliers?
A Wesleyan Methodist.
Correct. By what means does Bunthorne's solicitor suggest he should choose one of the 20 maidens to marry after he's been rejected by Patience?
He should put himself for raffle.
Yes, in the Pirates of Penzance, of which baronial home has Major General Stanley recently become the owner?
Pass.
The Yeoman of the Guard opens with Phoebe doing what while sitting alone on stage?
Spinning.
Yes, what is the occupation of Tarara in Utopia Limited, according to the dramatis personae?
He's the public exploder.
He is. In the Gondoliers, what does Luis tell the Duke that he can imitate despite being unable to tootle like a cornet?
A farmyard.
Yes, on which First Lord of the Admiralty, I've started so I shall finish, whose retailing business still bears his name, is the character of Sir Joseph Porter in HMS Pinafore, generally held to be modelled?
W.H. Smith.
Indeed it was. You had 2 passes. It was Tremorden Castle, the baronial home I was looking for, and the title of the drinking song, which begins "Eat, Drink and Be Gay," is Teacup Brindisi.
Thank you, sir.
Those 2 passes, Thomas Dyer, you have 15 points.
Oh, thank you, Sir William.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Tony Kelly.
Your occupation?
Silversmith and goldsmith.
And your chosen subject?
The history of spirits and liqueurs.
Spirits and liqueurs in 2 minutes, starting now. Which historic region in Gascony in southwest France gives its name to one of the 2 great French grape brandies?
Cognac.
Armagnac. What liqueur has been manufactured since the 1860s at Benevento in Italy and has a name meaning which?
Strega.
Yes. Which Irishman gave his name to the continuous still, sometimes called the patent still, the design for which was patented in about 1830?
Aeneas Coffey.
Correct. What was the name of the professor at the University of Leiden who's credited by some with being the first to distill juniper berries with spirits to produce gin?
Dr. Silvius.
Yes. In which country is there a local aquavit or brennivin known as Black Death?
Sweden.
Iceland. Which type of grass is used to flavour Zubrovka vodka?
Buffalo grass.
Yes. Which word deriving from Arabic is used to denote the copper pot stills used to produce cognac?
Alembic.
Yes. Which gin do purists insist should be used to produce a pink gin when mixed with Angostura bitters?
Plymouth.
Yes. In 1608, who was granted a licence to distill whisky by James I of England at Old Bushmills, which now claims to be the oldest licensed distillery in the world?
Pass.
Which cocktail is believed to have been devised when vodka was introduced to the United States and includes ginger beer and lime juice?
The Moscow Mule.
Yes. What's the name of the Norwegian aquavit which gets its name from being transported to Australia and back in oaken casks?
Linny Aquavit.
Yes. According to legend, the model for which Italian town's fresco of the Madonna, painted by Bernardino Luini, created an amaretto of the same name?
Sonaro.
Saronno. Which company still in existence today was founded with the opening of a distillery on the outskirts of Amsterdam in 1575 and remained in the same family till it was sold in 1816?
Bowls.
Yes, tequila that has been aged for about a year is known as reposado, but how is tequila that has been aged for a number of years known?
Añejo.
Yes. Which area is said to produce the best Calvados and has its own designation?
Normandy.
Pie d'Auge. Which colourless sherry... I've started, so I'll finish. Which colourless sherry liqueur originated on the Dalmatian coast on the Adriatic?
Slivovitz.
Maraschino. One pass, it was Sir Thomas Phillips who was granted the licence to distill whisky by James I. Tony Kelly, you have 10 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Hamish Cameron,
Your occupation?
computer manager,
And your chosen subject?
ancient Egypt, 1570 to 1070 BC.
Ancient Egypt, 2 minutes. What was the name of the tutor to the royal heiress Neferure who became steward of Amun during the reign of Hatshepsut?
Senenmut,
Yes. Which town on the river Orontes in Syria was captured by Seti I?
Kadesh,
Yes. Which viceroy of Kush in the reign of Ramesses XI became involved in a civil conflict in Egypt and eventually withdrew to Nubia?
Paneshi,
Yes. What name was given to the sun god, sometimes associated with Ra, who assumed the form of the great disk of the sun, emanating rays terminating with hands?
Aten,
Yes. Which pharaoh fought and defeated a major invasion by a Libyan-led coalition of sea peoples in a great battle at Paya in the Delta?
Ramesses III,
Merenptah. In 1887 AD, at which site did a peasant find a collection of clay tablets that constitute one of the most important sources for the study of the New Kingdom?
Amarna,
Yes. Having captured Avaris, Ahmose I laid siege to which stronghold where the last of the Hyksos had taken refuge?
Sharuhin,
Yes. Which pharaoh decorated the temple of Mut with several hundred statues of Sekhmet?
Amenhotep III,
Yes. Where on the Nile were shrines built to Hapi, the god of inundation, and quarries opened to provide sandstones for the temples of the New Kingdom?
Aswan,
No, Silsila. Which capital of the 19th and 20th dynasties was later replaced by the city of Tanis that was built using some of its masonry?
Pirames,
Yes. Which statue believed to have therapeutic value did Tushratta, king of Mitanni, lend to Amenhotep III?
the Great Memnon,
Ishtar of Nineveh. With which king of the Hittites did Ramesses II negotiate a peace treaty in year 21 of his reign?
Hattusilus,
Yes. Which Syrian became chancellor under Siptah and may have been involved in the disorder that marked the close of the 19th dynasty?
B,
Yes. Which pharaoh recorded his numerous eastern campaigns in an inscription at Karnak generally known as the Annals?
Thutmoses III,
Yes. The daughter of which king of Mitanni was married to Thutmose IV?
Mutamuya,
Artatamar. You had no passes. Hamish Cameron, you have 11 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Chris Barber,
Your occupation?
aerospace worker.
And your chosen subject?
The Clash.
The Clash in 2 minutes, starting now. Which track from The Clash's album Combat Rock was a top 10 hit single in the United States in 1983?
Should I stay or should I go?
Rock the Casbah. Which Blockheads keyboard player joined the band as a temporary member, playing on the band's Clash Take the Fifth tour?
Mickey Gallagher.
Correct. On how many copies of Sandinista did the band agree to relinquish their royalties after fears about the commercial problems of releasing a triple album?
Pass.
In 1976, which group did Joe Strummer leave in order to join the Clash?
The 101ers.
Yes. In which year did the track Should I Stay or Should I Go top the UK singles charts following its use in a jeans advert and subsequent re-release?
1991.
Yes. In which French town was the second European punk festival held in August 77 at which the band performed?
Montreux.
Mont-de-Marsan. Paul Simonon is credited with writing which track on the album London's Calling?
Guns of Brixton.
Yes. In which German city was Joe Strummer arrested after an altercation with a member of the audience during a gig in 1980?
Hamburg.
Yes. In 78, which former Melody Maker writer temporarily became the group's manager after the dismissal of Bernie Rhodes?
Caroline Coon.
Yes. Who's credited with producing the band's debut album, The Clash?
Mickey Foot.
Yes. At which Dutch music festival in May 82 did Topper Hedden play his last gig before leaving the band officially because of a difference of political direction?
Pass.
What track is on the B-side of the 78 single release Tommy Gun?
Pressure Drop.
1-2 Crush on You. Who co-directed the film Rude Boy with Jack Hazan, which features footage of the band?
David Mingay.
Yes. What is the last track on the album London Calling?
Train in Vain.
Yes. Formerly with Cold Fish, which drummer was brought into the band in 1983 to replace Terry Chimes?
Pete Howard.
Yes. Which veteran musician known for using a rectangular guitar was recruited as support act on the band's first North American tour in 1979?
Bo Diddley.
Yes. What was the band's first single release in the UK that also gave them their first hit?
White Riot.
Yes. Which Clash song includes the lyrics from the 100 Years' War to the Crimea with a lance and a musket and a Roman spear?
Sorry, pass.
The Card Cheat is the answer to that one. The Lochem Festival was that Dutch music festival I was looking for. And how many copies of Sandinista did they agree to relinquish? 200,000. 3 passes. Chris Barber, you have 12 points. And that's the end of the first round, so let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 10 points, Tony Kelly. 3rd place with 11 points, Hamish Cameron. 2nd place, 12 points, Chris Barber. 1st place with 15 points, Thomas Dyer. So, round 2 now, general knowledge. If there is a tie at the end of this round, very likely on the basis of the scores, then the number of passes will be taken into account. So, let's get on with it and ask Tony Kelly to join us again, please. And I'm impressed to see that you're both a silversmith and a goldsmith. Is that common?
The terms are basically synonymous. It's just that one costs a hell of a lot more than the other.
Right. But if you're a silversmith, you will be a goldsmith, will you?
If you are a silversmith, you can work in gold equally as well.
Right. But you have your own maker's mark, I'm told.
Yep.
Which means what, exactly?
Well, I'm registered with one of the hallmarking offices or the assay offices that we have in the British Isles. I happen, for convenience sake, to be registered at Sheffield. I have to send my pieces to Sheffield with my mark on them.
Ah.
And so long as the metal that I've sent in is of the appropriate standard and quality, then the rest of what is called the hallmark gets put on.
And when somebody like you is buying gold or silver, do you get it at a real knockdown price? You know, a trade, well, obviously a trade price, but...
I wish.
No, I'd always assume that, you know, you'd think it's fairly cheap this week, so I'll buy half a ton of gold and keep it in the fridge or something.
Sure. Oh, I've got a cellar full, you know.
Well, we could talk about that all night, but don't have time. You've scored 10 points with your history of spirits and liqueurs. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. In art, what term is used for the painting or drawing of inanimate objects?
Still life.
Yes. What nationality were all the winners of the Olympic marathon throughout the 1960s?
Moroccan.
Ethiopian. To whom did Henry VIII give the title Princess Dowager of Wales after Thomas Cranmer declared their marriage was unlawful?
Catherine of Aragon.
Yes. What is the name of the open-air museum recreating ordinary life in the past that is situated in County Durham?
Pass.
Doug McAvoy became the General Secretary of which teaching union in 1989?
The NUT.
Yes, which of Shakespeare's fellow dramatists said of him that he had small Latin and less Greek?
Marlowe.
Ben Jonson. The philanthropist Andrew Carnegie made his fortune in which industry?
Oil.
Steel. Which animal's scientific name, Ailuropoda melanoleuca, means black and white cat-footed animal?
Skunk.
Giant panda. Which Nobel Prize-winning physicist gives his name to the SI unit of radioactivity?
Röntgen.
Becquerel. Who starred as Hercule Poirot in the 1978 film Death on the Nile?
Peter Ustinov.
Yes, according to folklore, which bird won the title King of the Birds by sitting on the eagle's back and when the eagle was exhausted, flying above it?
Skylark.
Wren. Which is the largest loch in Scotland?
Loch Ness.
Loch Lomond. Who stepped down from his role as chairman of the Press Complaints Commission in February 2002 because of his involvement with Enron?
Pass.
In a suit of armour, which part of the body is protected by the greave?
The arms.
The leg. Which post-impressionist painter abandoned his life as a Parisian stockbroker to become an artist?
Pass.
I can tell you, Gauguin. And it was Lord Wakeham, John Wakeham, who resigned from the Press Complaints Commission. The Open Air Museum is Beamish. You remembered it. 3 passes altogether, Tony Kelly, 14 points. And now Hamish Cameron, please. Now, you were very specific about the period you chose, ancient Egypt between 1570 and 1070 BC. So why those 500 years?
It's generally known as the New Kingdom, and it's the period of the Egyptian stars. Tutmosis III, the Napoleon of Egypt, Akhenaten the Heretic, Tutankhamun, Ramesses II, or in his terms, Ramesses the Great.
All the names we know, really.
That's right.
So was that ancient Egypt's greatest period, then?
I think it was. It seemed to fall apart after that. For the next 500 years, it's called an intermediate period. And then the Persians came and took over, Alexander the Great, the Romans, and it was downhill ever since.
So what was the final thing, do you think, that brought down this whole dynasty?
I think it's partly that the later pharaohs became lazy and didn't compete internationally as they had gone on earlier. For the 500 years after then, they were one united country, then it split into two. Right. And that was the end.
Right, you scored 11 points. With that, let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes. Which American playwright, whose first successful play was All My Sons in 1947, died in February 2005?
Arthur Miller.
Yes, in the human body, what is the medical name for the gullet?
Trachea.
The esophagus. Which European country has been ruled by the House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha since 1831?
Belgium.
Yes. In the Anglican Church, what name, originally that of a service said at or just after midnight, is sometimes given to the service of morning prayer?
Precessional.
Matins. On which island is Kealakekua Bay, where Captain Cook was killed on Valentine's Day, 1779?
Hawaii.
Yes. Alex Kapranos is the vocalist with which Mercury Prize-winning group?
The Clash.
Franz Ferdinand. Which English king narrowly escaped capture when his army was defeated at the Battle of Bannockburn?
Edward II.
Yes. Which former policeman wrote the television comedy series Open All Hours and Keeping Up Appearances?
John Sullivan.
Roy Clark. The Bab el Mandeb Strait lies at the southern end of which sea, connecting it to the Gulf of Aden?
Red.
Yes. Which library at the University of Oxford is named after the scholar and diplomat who restored and reopened it at the start of the 17th century?
Bodleian.
Yes. The language Nahuatl is also known by what name from that of the dominant people who spoke it?
Maori.
Aztec. Which irascible pint-sized cowboy with an oversized hat has been chasing Bugs Bunny since 1945?
Pass.
Who wrote the 1957 Pulitzer Prize-winning book Profiles in Courage, an account of 8 American political leaders who defied popular opinion on matters of conscience?
John Kennedy.
Yes. Which actor's second wife was Sheila Hancock, whom he married in 1973?
John Thaw.
Yes. Which branch of physics specifically deals with the production and effects of very low temperatures?
Cryogenics.
Yes. What symbol of authority is carried in procession in and out of the chamber of the House of Commons by the Sergeant-at-Arms at the beginning and end of each day?
Mace.
Yes. Which red wine from Tuscany was traditionally sold in short, fat bottles wrapped in straw?
Cognac.
Chianti, the name of which character from Dickens, I'll finish the question, Dickens' Martin Chuzzlewit, is used colloquially for a sanctimonious hypocrite? Take a guess.
Pecksniff.
Yes, Mr. Pecksniff, you got it. One pass. The pint-sized cowboy who chases Bugs Bunny all the time is Yosemite Sam. That one pass, you now have a total, Hamish Cameron, of 22 points. And now, Chris Barber, please. So the Clash were of the punk era, but not really punk?
Yes, I suppose you could say that. They came in on the original wave of the punk scene, but they like to branch out in a different musical direction, whereas most of the original groups either split up quite soon, like the Sex Pistols, or they stayed in that very narrow, very fast rock and roll channel.
And were they proper musicians as opposed to...
Well, Paul Simonon wasn't. He'd actually learnt the bass by sticking coloured stickers onto the fret. But the rest of them were far more advanced musicians than they originally let on. But for a lot of us who grew up around that time, who were real fans of the band, it was more the attitude and the passion that they put into it rather than the musicianship.
Right, well, you have 12 points. 22 is the score to beat as we speak. Let's see if you can do that with your general knowledge. Starting now. Slough Bus Station is featured in the titles of which spoof television documentary series?
The Office.
Yes, the Midlands Grand National is normally staged at which Staffordshire racecourse?
Wolverhampton.
Uttoxeter. Which future leader of the Labour Party became Chancellor of the Exchequer in 1950, succeeding Sir Stafford Cripps?
Harold Wilson.
Gaitskell. The natterjack is the species of which amphibian?
Toad.
Yes, in 2003, which actor became the second James Bond to be knighted when he received the award for his work as the United Nations Special Ambassador?
Pierce Brosnan.
Roger Moore. Which deadly poison is found in the beans of the castor oil plant?
Pass.
Which group made the albums Ghost in the Machine and Zenyatta Mondata?
The Police.
Yes, what name is given to the chain of islands stretching over 100 miles from the coast of Florida into the Gulf of Mexico?
Pass.
Mrs. Arbuthnot is the title character of which play by Oscar Wilde?
The Importance of Being Earnest.
A woman of no importance. Which English town did Bonnie Prince Charlie and his Highlanders reach on their march south before heading back?
Carlisle.
Derby. Which liver disease, typically caused by excessive alcohol consumption, has a name derived from the Greek for tawny because this is the colour of the afflicted organ in many cases?
Cirrhosis.
Yes. What kind of pastry is used for making eclairs and profiteroles?
Shoe.
Yes. Who took the title of Lord Protector of England, Scotland and Ireland in 1653?
Oliver Cromwell.
Yes. Which anti-malarial drug is obtained from the bark of the cinchona tree?
Quinine.
Yes. According to legend, which scientist discovered the principle of the pendulum while he was looking at a newly lit lamp swinging in Pisa Cathedral?
Pass.
Which country was known as Southwest Africa until 1968?
Namibia.
Yes. The billionaire financier Michael Bloomberg was elected mayor of which city in November 2001?
New York.
Yes. The name of which musical instrument is derived from the Italian word for small?
Mandolin.
No, piccolo. Which ceremony, whose name in Hebrew means son of the commandment, marks the arrival of a Jewish boy at religious adulthood at the age of 13?
Bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah is correct. You had 3 passes. Galileo was the man who discovered the principle of the pendulum while he was looking at Pisa Cathedral. Florida Keys are those islands that stretch south of Florida. And from the castor oil plant, you get, if you want it, ricin, deadly poison. 3 passes. You have 22 points. And finally, Thomas Dyer, please. Now, you have chosen W.S. Gilbert specifically as opposed to Sullivan because...
Well, because I don't know very much about music. Technicalities.
And you do about libretti.
Yes, poetry.
Sullivan didn't always share your view of Gilbert. They didn't always get on terribly well, did they?
No, well it's an ego problem, because Sullivan wanted the music to be heard and Gilbert wanted the words to be heard. And on the whole, he was successful, because he used to walk around the back of the theatre making quite sure the words were heard. And if the the performers didn't do it, they got a rocket from him.
But didn't he get rather cross if, when he heard them coming out of the theatre, the audience, they were humming the tune rather than talking about the lyrics?
So I've heard, but that's only to be expected, isn't it? I mean, you can hum a tune, you can't really hum a lyric, can you?
no, that's perfectly true. 15 points you have, 22 points you have to beat. 2 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. Which British engineer designed the ships Great Western, Great Britain and Great Eastern, each of which was the largest in the world at the time of their launch?
Isambard, King and Brunel.
Yes, officers of what rank in the British Army or the Royal Marines have only one crown on their epaulet?
Major.
Yes, which dramatist and architect wrote the play The Provoked Wife and also The Provoked Husband, which he left unfinished?
Sir John Vanbrugh.
Yes, how many ordinary bottles of champagne are held in a Nebuchadnezzar?
Pass.
Which leading French revolutionary who effectively headed the government during the Reign of Terror was guillotined on the 28th of July, 1794?
Robespierre.
Yes, which town is the capital of the island republic of Mauritius?
Port Louis.
Yes, what is the name of the anchorage between Portsmouth and the Isle of Wight, which was the site of a naval mutiny in 1797?
Spithead.
Yes, which Victorian novel is subtitled A Romance of Exmoor?
Lorna Doone.
Yes, what was Longacre Square in New York renamed as in 1904 as a consequence of a well-known newspaper moving its offices there the previous year?
Pass.
Which toy breed of dog takes its name from the French for butterfly because its ears are supposed to resemble the spread wings of a butterfly?
Papillon.
Yes, which English city was formerly known as New Sarum?
Salisbury.
Yes, in the game of solo whist, how many tricks does a player undertake to win if he calls misère or misère ouverte?
None at all.
Indeed. A poor beagle is a species of which fish?
A shark.
Yes. What is the nickname of Edwin Aldrin, the second man on the moon?
Buzz.
Yes. The lower house of which Eastern European country's parliament is called the Sejm?
Poland.
Yes.
Polish.
Which city did the poet Matthew Arnold describe as sweet city with her dreaming spires?
Oxford.
Indeed. What name is given to the highly corrosive mixture of concentrated hydrochloric and nitric acids which can dissolve gold?
Aqua Regia.
Yes, the flag of which British islands in the Caribbean is a blue ensign with a young woman in a white dress with 12 oil lamps depicting a biblical parable?
St. Lucia.
Virgin Islands. Which area in the southwest of the Japanese island of Kyushu gives its name to a type of fine cream-coloured pottery?
Pass.
Well, I can tell you it is Satsuma. The other two passes, Times Square was what Longacre Square was renamed as, and there are 20 bottles of champagne in a Nebuchadnezzar. Yes. However, you didn't need to know all that because with those three passes you have scored a total of 30 points. So let's have a look at all the scores. In fourth place with 14 points, Tony Kelly. In joint second place with 22 points are Hamish Cameron and Chris Barber. In first place, a very clear lead, 30 points, Thomas Dyer. Which means that Thomas Dyer goes through to the next round. Congratulations to him. Do join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
It's the official opening of the RHS Chelsea Flower Show today, and we'll have all the latest news and some spectacular sights here on BBC Two from 8. Next, though, can anyone make the perfect jam donut on the Great British Bake Off?